Welcome to another episode of For Footballers Only. I'm Mike,
I'm James Benet.
and today we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Clayton.
Welcome,
To the
Rebecca.
show, Rebecca.
All right,
Thank
Rebecca,
you.
let's get right into it. Where does your football story begin?
Well, it begins around when I was 5, I'm playing Muppet soccer, just casually. My family wanted me to do piano and ballet and all that kind of stuff, but I was definitely a more energetic child. Lots of attention disorders. Couldn't, always getting lost, needing to, I don't know, point A to point B to point C kind of thing, just in my own little world. So I definitely needed something more involving that wasn't just all about focusing and more just doing and playing. And definitely, I could say I didn't necessarily have a lot of anger, but I was needed to, take my whatever out on like the field or something. But so I started playing soccer at a pretty early age in Muppets, and it just stuck ever since. I don't know, I think it was because mainly my sister had played too, and I just wanted to do something that one of my siblings was doing. Also, my dad wouldn't let me play like real football, so not real football. I guess American.
American football.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to say that. Everybody's gonna be offended.
So just so you know, folks, when folks see that, they're gonna get at you. Like all the. But anyway, go continue.
I'm gonna say a lot of stupid stuff because sometimes I get nervous and I'll just start rambling. But yeah. So American football, not real football.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let me play, of course, which is probably a good thing. But so then I decided to play soccer, and so I got injured a lot because I had no fear starting from an early age. No fear at all, ever. Just like headstrong, always moving forward, never looking behind me. Didn't care. I've broken quite a few bones, and that's probably the biggest thing that I've dealt with is trying to maintain that like no fear, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of like, it'll get you hurt and a lot of things, but I've persevered, I guess, in that sense with the first time I ever broke a bone was, playing football with the guys in 4th grade and fell on some rocks, broke this wrist. And then the second time I broke, once this healed, no, that was in 3rd grade, I'm sorry. And then in 4th grade, I broke my other wrist playing soccer, of course. From here on out, it's all soccer. I broke my right wrist from playing soccer. And I guess I don't know how to tuck and roll. Every time I would get hit with my legs, I'd do a flip and then land on this arm. So I broke this wrist. And while I was out from this right wrist being broken, I broke this one. While this one was still broken, playing soccer behind my sister's soccer game, because I didn't want to land on this one or my other broken arm. So I had 2 casts at one time, and there's a picture. I wish I could just like blow it up right here. But so that was probably in 4th grade. And right after these wrists healed, I broke, which was the biggest, I would say the hardest thing I've ever gone through was breaking my leg because of soccer. I was in 5th grade. I was, starting from Muppet to club was really just like exceeding, excelling with soccer. And my coaches could see, they saw a lot of potential in me. They were really excited. I was on A team and everything. Like when you have like a coach, like throughout the whole entire like club season that you're in, they kind of like watch you grow and stuff. They were excited about that with me. And I was, no fear, go-getter, ready to start my soccer career. I guess at the young age where you're just like cultivating it, I guess, like just so like involved. And I like, and even before that, when I was saying like I was involved, like I was to the point where I remember we had tryouts and I was running a fever and I was sick. I still went out there. I didn't care. I was sick, running a fever. I was like, it's tryouts. I was in 5th grade. So I was like, even with that much dedication at that young age, like I was really into it. And then I broke my leg, and I was going one-on-one with a goalie. was trying to cut the ball around them. She ended up falling to her knees instead. And when I cut to turn the ball away, my right foot caught under her knee and I kept going and it snapped in half. And so from there on out, it was downhill, so downhill. I ended up having a completely clean broken tibia, and my fibia was fractured as well. And through that healing process, I was constantly thinking about soccer, really depressed about it, not being able to play. From there, around like halfway through the healing process, when I had a cast all the way up to my thigh, I ended up stepping on my leg and the bone moved. So I had to get it reset, had a wedge placed like next to my leg. And then I ended up getting a pressure wound from that because the procedure was done incorrectly, because I did not want surgery to be done because I was worried about how it would affect my playing, having a rod in my leg. So I was like considering that, even with a completely broken bone, 2 like broken wrists or whatever all throughout my young little life, I was thinking about how's this going to affect my future with soccer, you know? And I was like, you are not playing soccer anymore. I was like, watch me, please watch me. But, you know, it really set me back. I was depressed at an early age, really, really fast, not being able to play, not being able to be with my friends. I had nothing to do. I took up art in the meantime. And finally, I think that took me out 2 years, from 5th grade to 7th grade. I was finally able to go back, but they put me back on A team. But from that point, I had a limp from 2 years being out and having like a pressure wound that needed to heal, that I had to like work through. I needed to rebuild my muscles. It set me back. I was, even with no fear still, I subconsciously are to go one-on-one with the ball. So after about like half a year to 1 year, they put me onto B team to work my way back up to A team, but that never happened. So yeah, so from there I was, you know, still trying to get back to where I was. That was like, still struggle with it. I still have a scar. I still am trying to keep like my muscles up in my right leg at all times, and still trying to get back to like where I was, I guess. But there's nothing that could keep me away from soccer. It doesn't matter whether the only time I ever felt like I was really like not considering not playing soccer, but the only thing I was actually depressed about was not playing soccer. Not that I had a broken leg or that I was injured. It was that, man, like I can't play. Like, how am I supposed to play? Like, how am I supposed to banged up leg? But yeah, nothing's ever stopped me from not continuing my my love for soccer. It doesn't matter whether I'm like broken from the waist down, I guess. I don't know how I would play soccer then, but yeah. You know, it just makes me really sad. But yeah. So I'm still I still continue to play club. I got like college offers, but they were only for private schools. I didn't end up playing in college just because I didn't have a major I wanted to do. So I thought if I'm only getting a little bit of a scholarship, that I didn't want to go and, you know, spend a bunch of money just to play soccer, though I was considering it. And a lot also, it would have, I don't know what my experience would have been in college, but playing soccer, but I know my friends said they got really burnt out, and I'm still like, you know, I joined a new league that reminds me of club. It's actually keep getting me back on that like mindset with Elvis, playing with Elvis and everything. But yeah, so I just started with them like last season, and before that I was living in Galveston, Texas. I was in a league, but it wasn't like co-ed. It was just kind of like, you know, intermediate players, but now I'm playing with advanced players, and it's just amazing. Like, I'm obviously like a little behind, but based on like what I've been doing since club in high school, I'm 25 now, but I don't know, there's never like a cap on like how much skill you can like learn and everything. And yeah, I'm still consider myself like in it. Like, I'm still trying to, I'm obviously not going to be able to be put on A team, but I feel like my team is A team. Okay? Like, my team is good. They're good.
A team as an adult. That's an interesting concept, actually.
Yeah, I'm still trying to make it back to where I was at 10th grade. Okay.
All right.
I
So
don't know.
there's a few things. One, did you always played and grew up in Texas?
No, I actually grew up in Georgia. I'm sorry, that's a big thing.
Okay.
I yeah, I've constantly played in Georgia.
Yeah.
And then I moved here 3 or 4 years ago.
And so your sister, you said your older sister, like she played as well. Does
Yes.
she um does she still play?
No, actually, she wasn't. She was like the bridge to get me into soccer, and she was only doing it. I mean, she was she was good, but she wasn't as she didn't, respectfully, she would say the same thing. She wasn't as in love with soccer as I was. Like
Yeah.
I was just it was like my whole world. Like my person, you know how you kind of pick your personality like to go coincide with something. And mine was soccer. Like that was something that I was really good at and something that I just wanted to be better at all times. So that was my
So as I think you said between fourth grade and seventh grade, you pretty much broke everything on your body. I mean, from your wrist, your right leg, etc.
Yep.
Um, do you like? Why do you think that happened?
I think it probably happened because I wasn't concerned with my own safety. I was only concerned with making sure that ball made it to the goal. Or like, anybody else around me was just like, it doesn't matter what you do to me. My favorite part about soccer is just being able to get like dirty and like hurt without really getting hurt. I'm not like trying to get injured or anything, but there's nothing better than just like I don't know getting. And you're supposed to play to the like whether you get knocked down and then you're like, oh, it helps, but as soon as I get knocked down, I'm trying to find a way back up to like run after them. Like it's kind of fun getting knocked down. It makes me laugh if I'm not like really injured, and then doing it after them. It's so much fun. Like I don't know. I grew up. I'm the youngest of four. I think I missed that part too. I'm the youngest of four. I don't care about getting injured. You can literally just punch me in the gut and I would be like, this is fun. This is great. We're playing soccer. This is fine. So I had no, I guess, self-perseverance for when I played. That was my thing. I wasn't worried about if I throw myself into this person to win that ball, how will I feel? I'm like, I don't care. I need to have that ball.
What role were you more of a defensive? Are you more of a defensive player, especially when you were younger? Were you more of a defensive player as opposed to an offensive player?
No, I was more offense, but I specifically like to play center mid just so I could control the field and control what was going on around me in a sense. I like to be able to watch and keep track of everybody and help out when they needed it. My 2 cents into what they were doing. And then, if I wasn't necessarily a goal scorer. I didn't care much for making the goals. I wanted to help make them happen, I guess. I don't know. It was not something that I ever like picked up on the most, which is probably not like the best thing because I don't know. The whole point is to score goals, but I wanted to get the ball, make plays happen, and then, let the people who are really good at that targeting like shots to just go ahead and do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So,
Go on.
Yeah, when you was growing on, right? You started at an early age. Did any of your family play football or play soccer, or it was just your family was like a first generation into the game?
It was a first generation, definitely, because most of my family pretty much the majority of my family is from Pennsylvania. And I don't think Pennsylvania is a big like soccer state. And for the most part, it was my dad played football, American football, and so did my brother. And that's what made me was like think, because I grew up with my two older brothers going camping, hunting, fishing. I should play American football. So the next best thing was, football, soccer, because, you can be physical, can run around, you can get like dirty, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was the first one. My sister actually was the first one, but she didn't, I think that she quit around like middle of high school, where she played club too. But for me, it was very serious. I was the first one.
Another question, right? So I always wanted to know, especially like with first generation, since like your dad played American football and your brother did,
Mhm.
did your dad ever help you coach when you were at that young age, or your sister, soccer wise?
Oh yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. My dad
Mhm.
was, he didn't even know what he was talking about most of the time, but he was like, I think you need to run faster. You need to get to the ball faster. I was like, I dare you. Go out there and tell me what to do. Maybe if I was playing football, you could tell me what to do, but it was just funny. Like I respect my dad, but at the same time, I would just stay quiet. But he would be like, "No, you really need to just score 2 goals." I'm like, "Score 2 goals. You want me to score 2 goals? How do you think I get to that goal? Okay, I got to run around people. I got to make some passes. Give me more details. What do you think I should
uh,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it looks easy from the
Right.
sideline. So he's like, oh, you just scored 2 goals.
Exactly. I was like, have you ever played soccer? I don't think so. It's harder than it looks. Run faster. I'm like,
Oh man.
with what legs? These ones are only gonna get me as fast as you saw.
So so when you were when you especially like when you were injured, did
Mhm.
so because you've been playing a little for a few years and you're kind of passionate about this to the
Yeah.
point where one wrist is broken, but and your sister is playing and you're still playing soccer right behind her game and you get injured again, right? At this point, did you have any football idols?
Oh man. So here is the kicker. I love to play FIFA, but I never watched a lot of soccer unless it was the World Cup and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. I never got into the teams and stuff. I liked the Silverbacks because they were a Georgia team, and one of our coaches played for the Silverbacks. But they're not. I don't know whether they restarted. I know they did restart the team, but for a long period of time, they actually like weren't doing anything with the Silverbacks.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I did like because I could watch it in person. When it's on the TV, kind of like watching the soccer ball go around, and yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I didn't have idols. I'm sorry. I was my own idol.
So you
In
didn't. So
FIFA,
you didn't have. So in FIFA, what was your team in FIFA?
yeah.
Madrid,
Oh,
Real Madrid.
Madrid. Okay. So who was what year is this? Is this
It was around middle school when I played a lot of FIFA and stuff. But
I know, I'm saying what year? Like is this with
oh
Ronaldo? Ronaldo's on the team? On the Madrid team?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So even then, was Ronaldo your favorite player?
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo is. I mean, he's good. He's like the dude. I don't know. He's like next to David Beckham. It's like I don't know. They're really good players. I watch them and I'm jealous. I actually, you know what it is when I watch. Okay, you're
This is,
laughing at me,
no,
but
this is great. This is
the
No.
thing is,
great.
when I break it down, I think the feeling I get when I watch soccer games is first jealousy, second that I should be playing with them, and then I get frustrated because I'm like, well, why isn't this happening? And obviously, it's one of those things where you watch it and it's like it's a lot different when you're actually playing. But when I watch it, I get a sense of like, oh man, now I'm anxious. Oh, now I gotta. Oh gosh, I need to coach. Put me in, coach. Like it's like one of those feelings that like I just want to be playing it, and I know watching it helps a lot with like seeing the skill and just kind of like just being like really like an extra level of being involved with soccer. But for me, it was purely like I needed to play. Like I don't want to watch it because it makes me feel like left out. Like well, you're not gonna let me play. You're not gonna put me in. Like I don't know. It's kind of
Okay, but you also said you watched the World Cups, right?
yes. Whenever the World Cups were happening, I was watching it if it was on.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question anyway. It would be interesting to see what your answer is, right? So you also said you've listened to a number of the podcasts, so you should know what was coming. The
Mhm.
question is, Who is in your top 11 footballers of all time?
What's her name? I really liked Anna. What was her name? Anna from the World Cup for the American team.
Anna?
Maybe it wasn't Anna. See, oh, now I'm just like, this is bad. Cristiano Ronaldo.
How long ago was this?
I know which
Yeah, how
you
long?
talking about the Women's World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Which year?
Had to be when I was in high school. You're so disappointed.
All right, go on with your list.
Yeah, go ahead. That's all. We'll try to figure it out.
You said Cristiano Ronaldo. That's one.
Let's do some David Beckham in there.
All right, dude.
I like the movie Bend It Like Beckham. That girl that played soccer. She's my number 3. Me.
Okay, we got you, Rebecca Clayton.
Oh my goodness. My coach who played for the Silverbacks, his name was Tate. Amazing coach. Amazing. Tate.
He was an amazing player as well.
Yes, he was. He played for the Silverbacks. He was fantastic. And he would yell at the coaches all the time. I mean, not the coaches. He would yell at the refs and the coaches, anybody. And one time he sang this song to them. He was like, because he thought they were all, he called them clowns and stuff. So he would be like, he would make the clown noise. Like, he would sing it to them. He was crazy. It was amazing. I loved it. And
so that's 4. You have 4. That's 4.
That's 5 because I mentioned me.
No, so you have Beckham, Ronaldo, Tate, the girl from Bet It Like Beckham. You don't even know the girl. Okay, we'll keep her. We don't know her name, but let's keep her. That's 5.
This is like a joke now. Why you make me name 11? I don't have 11.
So I think we should switch it today, right? Since you watched the World Cup, right?
Okay.
Name your favorite, let's say maybe 6 country, your favorite soccer country in the World Cup.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Right?
Yeah. Your top 5. Your top 5 football countries.
Yeah, for the World Cup. Yeah.
Teams.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite top 5 favorite World Cups.
World Cup team, yeah.
World Cups team. America.
Okay.
This is men's or women?
Women.
Okay.
Oh.
For America, and then let's see. Man, who? Brazil.
Men
or women or both?
Men Brazil.
Men Brazil. Okay.
That's a good choice.
Thanks.
That's 2.
But all right. 2. Man, like I thought maybe that was just specific to them. Why? Obviously, after I told you I don't watch soccer on TV, that maybe I wouldn't have 5. Okay, all right. American women, American team.
Brazilian men.
Brazil. Let's do the women's in Germany.
Okay.
I like the way that they braid their hair and stuff for the game. Very interesting. And then what's your favorites? What do you This is
a top 5 country?
Top 5 country?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is shaming me to like watch more though. This is good. This is good for me.
Yeah. So top 5 countries, football. Brazil. I'd say France.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll say Ghana. I'll say the Dutch.
Nice.
Are the good ones.
And then Argentina.
That's a good one. With me, I'll go Liberia.
Okay.
Brazil. The Dutch. Oh God. The Dutch. Ghana. And then I'll go with the German because the Germans are always adapting. So
Yes,
in Germany, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
efficiency.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you still got two more. You still got two more.
Yeah, you have two.
I would say the
Oh,
French
oh, I
team.
didn't pick France.
The French men or women's?
Men's.
They're
Okay.
both good. Okay.
And then Argentina. I think I've seen them play.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So generally, I mean, I think what you're saying is generally you don't watch or you haven't in the past
But I will
watched.
now because I feel so bad. I feel so stupid.
Mhm.
No.
It's okay.
Yeah. But I also think this is a cultural thing, right? So
Mhm.
because the game is not, and this is kind of why we have this platform as well,
Yeah.
because for DC 11 we're developing we're developing young footballers, right, in America.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I've noticed is that there are a lot of, and I've talked about it, right? Even at the high level in the U.S. at a D1 school, there were very few uh, footballers that actually knew anything about the game outside of what they were playing, and there's a
Right.
certain limitation, right? Like because football is more than like most sports, or anything really. It's more than just the doing of the thing, right? There's the entire culture that surrounds the thing.
Mhm.
That when you are embedded in that culture and you truly understand the culture, the
Mhm.
things the game becomes even greater than just a game. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it
Yeah.
becomes like you're like, oh wow, this is there's this whole thing going on, and I was just getting this small piece of it. I was just
Mhm.
coming in. I really like this small piece, but this is such a small piece.
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, and so this is good. I mean, what this is showing, some there's we have young athletes that listen to this and watch this as well,
Mhm.
and your story, I'm sure resonates with
A lot of people. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of folks who don't or have not really immersed themselves in the culture of the game, and
Right.
and in a way, like sometimes when they look at us, they're like, "Yo, why are you guys so happy?" You know what I mean? Like, oh, why, like, why are you happy about this thing? Because in order for you to get that joke or to get that reference, you
Mhm.
would have to have had all this context.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I think
And
I think it's
I also
part of
want
it.
to add on that, Mike. I mean, kudos to you, especially like you saying your parents was first generation into the
Mhm.
game, but you still kept on playing through
Yeah,
injury, not
yeah,
even watching the game, but you still have the passion to it. And there's a
Right.
lot of people, so your story is great for this podcast. There's a lot of people in your shoes probably never watched the game, but they just had the passion. So
Right.
you shouldn't feel bad, you know.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were playing, especially after the injuries, like when you got into high school and you were
Mhm.
still playing club, was this a women's only team, or was it still co-ed? Because you say you were playing co-ed prior.
Oh, so it was women's only when I played club, and then when I went to when I graduated high school, I wasn't playing club anymore, nor did I decide to play in college. So when I was still living in Atlanta, I had friends that I would meet up with to play indoor. I've always continued to play soccer, but it wasn't as involved as it is right now. The team that I'm on, which is amazing. But during that whole like transition from not playing club to what I was doing up until now, was just like kind of playing here and there, joining some leagues that were like kind of serious, kind of not serious. Just typically just like trying to stay playing as much as possible, as I much as I could. And then I moved to Texas, and I found a team in League City, which was co-ed. I've I've always played on co-ed after graduating high school from playing club. So yeah, it hasn't specifically been just women since. I mean, there was a short period of time that I was playing on just a women's uh, league, but it wasn't as fun as it is when you play co-ed.
Mhm.
Uh, for
Do
me.
you are you involved in any way with the youth game? Like, do you play with younger girls or coach younger girls or involved in any kind of way?
No, I've always wanted to do that, but I've always kind of been down on myself on the fact that I didn't play in college because I know that allows you a bunch of learning, a ton of learning for like knowing how to professionally kind of like coach rather just because my coaches were always good for club, but I have an understanding of like that. At least I understand that a lot of people talk about once they went to college, they had a better understanding. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to say they had a better understanding of how to coach, how to, I don't know, just, I don't know, just coaching in general. So I've kind of not wanted to do that. Well, I wanted to do it, but I didn't have enough confidence to do it because only, I capped out on like playing high school in club.
Yeah.
But I still think that I mean, it's not like I'm training people my age. I would just be like coaching
Mm.
kids, but I've always wanted to, coach youth, but there's just a lack of confidence there, I guess,
Mhm.
when it comes to my knowledge, I guess, especially because I'm not watching soccer or really like as involved as I need to be.
Yeah.
It's just like, right. I'm only allowing myself to play it and love that I play it, love to play it rather than just like love like all aspects of it to have
Yeah.
a complete broad understanding of everything. But that's definitely a like something that a goal, I guess, like something I would want to do that I've thought about a lot. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
What has been your most actually before I even get to this question, so the the reason I asked that was trying to see if you notice the any changes in development from when you were a young player
mhm,
to the young the young players now.
mhm.
If if you had any interactions with them, then you would know, or you may have nieces or family members that are that are playing actually because of you, or something like that, and so
Oh
you could
yeah,
see.
actually.
Go
Oh,
on.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no.
No,
I was just saying, do you notice any difference between when you were playing and the development and the training sessions, and then what it is like now for the younger generation?
right. I don't. I guess I don't know that, but I do know that because I played soccer that I've had an impact on a lot of my family members and their kids. They're playing soccer, and then also my best friend's son. I told her that he should play soccer, so now he's playing soccer, and I'm just like spreading the awareness in America. I'm just kidding. um, but I don't know. Yeah. So, but I think that generally the one thing that I see is that it's just becoming more and more popular. Like it's
Yeah,
not just a small group of people, but like it's becoming more common for especially girls to play soccer because
yeah,
I think a lot of parents when I was young had reservations about allowing girls to play soccer just because it was still like a physical like sport and kind of dangerous, I guess. But
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, yeah, I would think with the women's, like the U.S. women's team dominance, right? In the, I mean, they've won what 3 or 4 World Cups,
mhm,
it's in a short period of time. I would think that you know has made the game very popular. I mean, like beyond popular is not even the right word, but it's like it's just everywhere. It's like
kidding. Yeah.
yeah, and I would think that would draw a lot of young girls to the game.
Hmm.
Um, what I was gonna ask you was, what is your most memorable moment um, playing the game,
Hmm.
but up till high school, right? So not after high school, but
Right.
from a little kid breaking all your bones to high school. What was your most memorable moment? It actually could be breaking one of your bones. I mean, I'm not sure, but
No, I would definitely just take those ones out. But I think it would have to be the times where uh, we went to state championships. Like it was usually involving like those back-to-back games where you're just like dying, absolutely dying from like just waking up in the morning playing and then having a second game and then you know taking an ice bath and waking up in the morning and then leaving the hotel and going to we had regionals. I'm sorry, we had regionals, and we were playing against a team in Florida, and I just like all when you have like this like a snapshot of like certain like moments of soccer that where you're playing, and it was just like I scored a goal, which is not very typical of me. I usually just I'm playing center mid, but it was the winning goal. And that was just something that I'm always going to remember is in my best friend, who's still my best friend till this day, Shayna Healy. I'm going to send you this video because I'm counting you out. Shayna, let's go, Shayna. Just kidding. Anyway, but she made a cross to me and just one touch into the goal. And it's like, I just remember seeing like just a snapshot of it just like going in and I'm like falling down. It was just really dramatic. And she comes over and she like picks me up and we're just celebrating. But I was like, yeah, I scored against the team of Florida and we won. I don't know. It's just so like, just an ego moment, I guess. But there's just so many of those moments where it's hard to pick just one. I specifically remember that one because it felt so good. It felt so good. Yeah. But I think another one just about team building was when our team had won the game to bring us to regionals. Man, it was very, very emotional. We all worked our butt off to get there, and one of our teammates wasn't able to make it because on the way to this game, her boyfriend at the time had passed away going to pick her up, and we knew him, and it was, we won our game. But at the end of it, there was no celebration. There was just crying and just like being there for each other and trying to be there for her. And just a very emotional time, but just something that really like leaves an imprint on your soul because like that's a team that I literally grew up with all those girls. And like they're girls that I will know till I'm dead, because there's just such like a strong bond from playing soccer, just being involved and having each other's back and stuff. So I just love that about the sport. Any moment that there's like bonding whenever I'm playing soccer is the most important to me because that's the best part of the game is having your teammate to like have your back and help you and like build, and it's the whole point. I don't know.
That's a memorable moment right there.
Yeah. No, that's are you guys or are you girls still, I think you said all of you are still in touch, right? And so do you guys still play pickup when you go back?
When we could, yeah. If I go back to Georgia, I usually try and like ask Shayna, and then Shayna asks like some of our friends, and one of our coaches that was our coach at the end, because we had a previous coach and then it got switched. For some reason, we kept getting like coaches switched out in and out, but he was the most memorable. He tried to keep in touch with us for a while. He ended up moving to California, but he would ask us, "Are you still playing? Are you still keeping up with it?" He was seriously involved with all of our like making sure we had scholarships coming in and all that kind of stuff, and coaches coming out to, because sometimes I feel like even though we were I was still on B team, but a lot of those coaches tend to kind of like they're not as involved sometimes, but our coach was trying to make sure that the emails were getting sent to these college coaches so they can come see us and stuff. So we keep in touch with him still. He follows all of us on like Facebook and stuff, and a lot of the girls I keep up with, and I don't necessarily play. We don't get together and do pickup a lot anymore just because we've all dispersed. But my best friend Shayna and I, we still, we try and get together, work out, play soccer. But yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I was gonna ask a question. I hope I don't get you in trouble. But what's the difference between, with your dad and stuff like that? What's the difference between American football and football?
What's the difference between American football?
To you, yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Well, football is more fun, first of all. American football, you just stand around and then you do a run and you stop. And you do run. I don't know.
He's just trying to set you up. Like that's, Well, you imagine showing this video to your dad or your family, they're just gonna eat you
I
up.
don't care. Me and him are so like back and forth with each other anyway. He'll be like, he'll probably just shake his head.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, the fact that so you say your two older brothers play football, American football, and then you and your older sister and you play football. So you know, I'm sure your parents are kind of like diplomatic about it, and they also feel pride in both sports because it's what their kids, what their kids did. But
Yeah, my mom's more involved with hockey, which is kind of like very similar to soccer as well. But she doesn't care much for football as much as my dad does, of course, because he was a coach, and then he was a quarterback when he was in high school. But for my mom, he was just happy that us girls were like playing something that would be. He didn't care that I was getting. I mean, he cared that I was getting injured, but he liked that I was playing like physical sports.
Yeah.
He I was like one of the boys for a little bit. Excuse me, there's a lot of talking.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. It's been a pleasure. I think it would be interesting to check in with you a couple of years from now after you start watching
some soccer so I can give some real answers.
Yeah. No, not for that. Actually, for your, right now you feel like you have a love for the game, right?
Yes.
As a participant.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like your love will get intensified the more you know.
Right, exactly.
Because you would then, even while you're playing, because that's the other part of it. Like a lot of your pickup sessions and the things that happen in your games or your training sessions, if you knew, then you say, "Oh, you try to do the Maradona on me," or oh, that's the culture. You know what I mean? Like, and then, but once you say that, actually, I remember this one time. There was a game. It was actually a Cap City game. So I go in, right? And Elvis is on the bench. And I'm on the right wing. And I'm approaching the goal. And I do the culture, right?
Yeah.
And so and I do the culture, the ball ends up this way, and I hit it with my left, and it goes. So like halftime, whatever. I was like, I see you trying to hit that culture. I see. It was a little thing. Then the other guys was like, yeah, I saw it. Like Mike, like that's why, because nobody had really done the culture recently. You know what I mean? Like it's a move. Yeah, it's a move from the '90s, early 2000s, or whatever it is. And so that was just. So it's like that was a cultural moment. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody got it and joke about it and talked about it. It was like, oh, you remember when he hit it against Nelson, or and then it spirals, right? And so that's what I'm saying about like your you getting immersed in the football culture. You would then start to appreciate so many things about the things you currently appreciate. Like even your pickup sessions would be more because like it's just. And it's the same thing with your dad. Like, your dad lives football, American football. He played it in high school. Like I'm sure he can give you every stat about all the great quarterbacks. Right. He and your brother argues about like, if Peyton Manning did this or if, they go back and forth. And there's a intense joy there because of this immersion in the, in the game. And it will be the same thing for you. That's the main reason I'm saying to just to start enjoying it.
And then to add on that, you can be even more comfortable to even coach some young ladies.
Yeah,
you're saying
exactly. Because like there's a lot of things that I picked up on, and like because I was playing soccer every day all week, and everybody around me, my coaches and stuff, would be watching games, and but there's a lot of things that I've missed because I'm not constantly involved every day, especially because I'm not watching. I play here and there, but it's not like the same as when I was playing in high school. I feel like I was getting enough in high school. Now I feel like I'm not getting enough because I'm not improving as much as I could be and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a matter of me applying myself, watching soccer, getting to know every aspect of it, and just like trying to be better, because I'm still working on it's still a goal to like be, I mean, there's always room for improvement forever, but I am absolutely not where I want to be right now. Like, I know that it's not like I'm young still, like, the world is, or whatever, the rest of my life. No, I'm getting older, so I need to get on it now. Okay. So like, I need to reach my max. I mean, I don't know how to say that. Like, my, as much skill as I can possibly obtain. Like, I wanted to fill that. Like,
that's a good goal.
Yeah,
it's never too late for that. It's never too late.
Yeah.
I know. I just feel like I'm definitely not where I'm supposed to be, but I'm gonna get there. You best believe it. Okay. It's just a matter of like finding more time.
Yeah,
that's a good goal.
Nice. Well, it's been a pleasure. How can folks get in touch with you if they want to, chat about football?
Well, I have an Instagram. It's comfy shorts. That's my handle. That's my handle.
So, okay, say it again. What is it?
Comfy shorts. I'm sure y'all know because we coordinated on there.
Okay. So what's the
spell it?
what? No, not the spelling. I mean, it's comfy shorts, right? Like shorts. Yeah. So what's the meaning behind it?
Oh, I just like comfy shorts. I'm all about them. Pants, not my favorite. Shorts, yes, gotta be comfy. And it's a really important thing to me. So I just thought everybody should know that. Also, I don't take social media very seriously. So that's another like little, like, comfy shorts. You don't need to know my name.
Nice.
I don't know. It's weird. I just like to make jokes at all times, I guess.
Yeah, no. Trust me. I mean, James can tell you I'm the joke guy, so I'm here for it. All right. Well, no, it's been a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you
for having me.
No, you're welcome. It's great having me.
It was good. It's good. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it was awesome to meet y'all, and definitely, keep in touch. I'll keep in touch. I'll let you know if anything new pops up, whether I make it onto the, women's ultra league.
The women's national team.
Yeah, that one. Let me do my research real quick.
That's the story. Like, we'll do a 6-part series on you if you you start training now and you transition to play on the U.S. women's national team and participate in the next World Cup. That's a full story. I mean, that's like, we get first dibs on that because I'm sure HBO, everybody's gonna want to get, but we get first dibs because we called it first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I never end up doing it, it's just gonna be a disappointment. We'll just get an update.
It'll just be
another story.
Yeah, just another story. Just add on to your luxurious career. That's what it is.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for wanting to keep up with me.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to welcome to another episode of For Footballers Only. I'm Mike.
I'm Rebecca. Oh.
So once I do this, I'm talking to James, right? And then I'll say, after James goes, then I'm going to say, and today we have a special guest. Welcome to another episode of Oh my God. Okay, hold on. All right.